Welcome back, all you hungry people. I actually think we have a good food review today. My name is Joe, and this is the Joe is Hungry channel, where today we're headed over to Jimmy John's to check out one of their 2 new toasted sandwiches, put it under the microscope, take it all apart, put it back together right here within the city limits of Fairmount, Georgia. Alexandria, Aya, Benjamin, Michael, and Tristan, thank you all for supporting the channel, and happy birthday. Kristen, Michael, Lucas, and Tim, Hope, Trevor, and Presley, I want to wish each and every one of you a very hungry happy birthday. With that behind us, Jimmy John's limited time offer, toasted sub sandwiches, come in 2 versions. The 3-cheese pizza sandwich, which we're not doing today, is constructed with mozzarella, Parmesan, and Provolone cheese, zesty Marinara sauce, oregano and basil on a toasted 8-inch French roll. The Sicilian pizza sandwich, which we are doing today, it's constructed with salami, Capocollo and Ham, melted mozzarella cheese, zesty Marinara sauce, oregano and basil, and again on a toasted 8-inch French roll. The Sicilian pizza version will torpedo your diet with 820 calories, slap your kidneys around with 2,620 milligrams of sodium. I have the full nutritional information for both on the screen and in the description below. If you want to try out either one of these in the 8-inch versions, prepare to be separated with $9.99 of your hard-earned cash, or double up to a 16-inch aka Giant for $18.99, or make it an 8-inch Jimmy John combo for $13.39 before taxes in Georgia. With that being said, let's cut to the chase and head on over to Jimmy John's. I've got my order in. Let's pull over there, get our sandwiches, and do the Joe is Hungry temperature test. Pizza sandwich number 1 is 142.5 degrees Fahrenheit. Pizza sandwich number 2 is 151.0 degrees Fahrenheit. Pizza sandwich number 3 is 144.5 degrees Fahrenheit. If you've been watching my channel any length of time, you know I like my temperatures at 140 degrees or above. Hotter is always better. I would have liked to seen them a little bit hotter than that, but they are cooking them in a toaster oven like what you would see at Subway. So today, Jimmy John's, you passed the Joe is Hungry temperature test. Now it's time to open the lid, take a deep look inside, inventory all the content, head back to the studios and do the Joe is Hungry weight test. Well, Jimmy John's, you did all right on the temperature test considering the oven that you're using, but let's see how you do on portion control when we take off for the packaging. In other words, set the tare again on the scales. Sicilian pizza number 1 weighs in at 12.27 ounces or 348 grams. Sicilian pizza sandwich number 2 weighs in at 13.15 ounces or 373 grams. Sicilian pizza sandwich number 3 weighs in at 14.05 ounces or 399 grams. Well, the difference between the heaviest and the lightest in this case is actually a little bit more than 10% of the average weight of all 3. I'm not gonna get real excited about that, but today they still don't pass the Joe is Hungry consistency weight test. Well, Jimmy John's, they don't have serving weights in their nutritional information. There's little more I can do about that except add them all up, average them out, do the math, and you come up with a sort of middle of the road 76 cents an ounce, which leads us on to the next test, the one and only, the Joe is Hungry big reveal. This is what it looks like, and this is what it's supposed to look like. This is what it looks like, and this is what it's supposed to look like. Well, we've seen what it looks like, and we saw how much it was. Not a terrible price. Not too terribly far off from its ad photos. I was kind of expecting a little bit worse. Well, that leaves one more thing to do, and it is bite test, engage. The bread was fresh, well toasted, and held up relatively well, and it was even a little bit crispy. They had a generous amount of meat, which actually blended well with the marinara sauce. The mozzarella cheese, they definitely gave us plenty of that, and it's actually well melted and went well with all the other flavors. But I would like to say one thing. When I bit into this thing and I closed my eyes, my brain screamed out, meatball sub. Not really sure why. It was a little confusing. Maybe it was the marinara sauce. With that being said, we need to look back into the past, see what happened with Shadow Joe, and do the Joe is Hungry Sneak-a-Doodle Bite. Sneak-a-Doodle Bite number 1. Sneak-a-Doodle Bite number 2. 1 second. Joe, are you ready? Will Neff, we love you, and happy birthday! Sneak-a-Doodle Bite number 3. I can taste the marinara sauce. There is ham, plenty of cheese, not a bad flavor. Let's go ahead and give this thing a score. If you don't know my scale is 1 to 10, 9 being the best. Anything above 9 is a once-in-a-lifetime experience and almost never achieved. 5 and down is that slippery slope to the pits and depths of fast food hell. Let's go ahead and give this the number that it truly deserves. Jimmy John's. I actually like this. I'll say that right up front. Not a bad price. Fresh ingredients, good prep, except for the little sneeze with the consistency test. But I gotta ask myself a question before I give this thing a score. Does this thing make the earth shake under my feet? Probably not, but I still like it. So today, I'm gonna have to go 6.9. That is my number, this is my review, and hopefully I will see you in the next video.